All right. So were you saying that you have done a little bit of SEO on this site already? Because it looks like the title tag's somewhat optimized.
Yeah, we used an SEO company that we weren't exactly happy with, and myself nor the IT director are really big SEO people. I've worked with companies, but I don't do a lot of SEO on my own. And then, so basically, I'm not sure. Our site seems to have some issues in general, so I just didn't know if the best way to go about doing it was to have the audit done, then decide who we use for SEO services. But we've been in Florida now for a while, so we're just looking to, get better and more visible on the internet, of course.
How's things in Florida with the business?
Oh man, it's booming right now.
Oh no. Okay, cool. Well, let's start looking at the basics. So the title tag looks like you guys are doing something there. Florida roofing contractors. I'm hoping that this is probably your main keyword. We can check that out too just by going over here. We're hoping that this is, somewhat over 100 searches per month, because if not, then there's really no point in targeting it.
Oh, you know what, Chase? Chris just got his Skype name. Can you add him?
Yeah, of course.
Sorry about that.
No problem. Let me get back over here. All right. I think control. I think add people. Okay, what's the username?
It's Jasper ATL.
ATL?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I think I have to add him first. Let me see if I can add him. Contacts, add, Jasper ATL. There it is. Send. And then I think he just has to accept it. Yeah, I don't think I can add him until he accepts that.
Okay. Yeah, we've been like so busy that all of us have been super behind the past couple weeks because of the hurricane, obviously. So he looked down and was like, "Oh my gosh, I realized it's 4 o'clock," which is when the meeting was scheduled Eastern. So.
Oh, yeah, that's fine. It's not a big deal. It's probably my fault anyways for needing to make this a little bit earlier.
Oh, no problem. And you can go ahead. I don't know where he just went. I just chatted him.
Oh, I got him. I think he just added me. There we go.
Okay, cool.
Should I wait? Okay, I think.
Oh. Hey, Chris.
Hey.
Is it Chris or Jasper?
It's Chris.
Chris. Who's Jasper?
Oh, that's the name of the company.
Oh, sorry about that.
Yeah,
Hey, Chris, how you doing, man? We're just basically going over the basics. You haven't missed anything really yet. One of the things I noticed is that we have, some SEO done on the title tag. I was just seeing if, there was any searches on this. It looks like we got 158 on that, and the commercial value is pretty high, so it looks like they did, do their targeting correctly there. Some of the basic elements on the homepage aren't done, like the H1 tags, which some would argue are the most important elements of, the on-page for SEO on, any page really next to the title tag. So let me just delete that. So SEO, and I will be taking notes if you guys are worried about that, and I'll send them to you after with the recording of this video, which, like I said, I won't publish on the channel, but at least you guys will have the video. So number one would be do start basics like H1 tags for pages. I haven't seen how many pages are missing these. If we go to Screaming Frog, which is a tool I just ran, and we filter just by the pages, we can see all these are using title tags, but if we look and see for the H1s over here, It looks like most pages are using it, but about half are not using the H1 tag. So, that would be one of the first things we'd want to do. That's just part of the basics. If we keep scrolling down, it looks like we are using bold and italics. Well, bold, but not italics, which is fine. And then alt text looks like we're using, except some of it looks a little, it could be better. Basically, you want to use this to kind of explain to the search engines as well as people who can't see what those images are, and this is just pulling the file URL, so we'd probably want to do some stuff there. Fix alt tags. So if we go to general attributes, we have a, whoa, that can't be right. That says 76 seconds. That could be one of the main reasons why this is not doing so well. So if we go to analytics, which I think I got access on, let me just go check. Go into here. And let's go into here. I'll just search it. Behavior, site speed, overview. So this will show us the site speed on average, and it does look like it is very, very high. This is actually the highest I've ever seen site speed. And the site definitely needs to be optimized in terms of page speed. So, image compression, reducing the server response time, which it might just be that you're using, not that great of hosting. So that would be something we'd want to check out. So page speed optimizations definitely need to happen, especially the server response time. So these are actually quick wins that would probably start increasing your rankings immediately if you fixed.
Okay.
And just interrupt me if you guys need to ask any questions or anything. I sort of just ramble, so just let me know. So I'm just going to sign in really quick just to see if we can see if you guys have any incoming links. So we go here, refresh, and check this out again. So I'm not seeing the, we'll just plug you into a different tool. Let me just go over here. Some of these tools can not work that well all the time. All right, so it looks like you got 693 backlinks. My biggest concern is that, because you were working with somebody else at one point, I don't know if, these are fake links. So did you guys work with them starting in August?
No, we started working with them probably in, I think it was January or February.
January or February. Okay, so were you telling them in August maybe that you were thinking about not keeping them or something?
Yeah, we've had that conversation on and off. We worked with them before years ago. Because
there is an extremely unnatural influx of links. We went from 0 in August to about 669 in about a month. So that's one of the best ways to get penalized by Google. If we actually look at the links this way, I don't know why it's taking so long. Okay, it's definitely not even showing me these. One of my biggest pet peeves is slow loading things because my life is on the computer. Well, we can go back and look at this. Either way, the backlinks look super unnatural. We really want to make sure that we're not getting in trouble with bad links. So I'm just going to say should look at links at some point and see why there's so many. Especially for a local company, it's just not natural for something like that to happen unless you have a bunch of something happen with the company. There's a lot of news around it. So page speed optimization, the homepage other than that looks pretty decent, except for the fact that we're not doing internal linking. So the homepage and pretty much any of the other pages should be internally linking to each other. That's how Google crawls pages. So internal link pages. The reason why you do that is because it actually increases the value of the other page. So if this page has a certain amount of authority and you link to another page, it passes authority to that page and helps you rank that page and then pass link value to other pages. If we check out the schema markup, which is a little bit more of the technical side of SEO, we'll be able to see what you guys are doing here. This is sort of a newer type of SEO that people started doing, where they started marking up their pages with something called schema. Not too new, though. It's taking a while to load. Let's check out Facebook. If we check out your Facebook data, and this is basically just what gets shared with Facebook, it looks actually pretty decent. We could share a video here or something instead, or maybe a picture, a team photo. I don't know. Looks fine, though. You can see that the only schema markup that's getting pulled here is website markup. We'd want to specify that this is actually a local business. So Google can recognize it as a local business entity. It actually helps with the rankings. So we'd want to do local business markup. If this sounds like Chinese, it's totally fine. It's just like, this is more of the technical stuff, but it's worth noting. The About Us also can be marked up. So generally, you can mark up pretty much every page. You can see there's also no internal linking going here. Also, you can see a problem here is the title tag just says About Us. What you want to do is something called topical seeding. So what that means is that you're actually seeding your main keywords throughout your pages. So it would be like about our, keyword at Jasper Roof. So you kind of get the point. You want to be mentioning your city a lot. You want to be mentioning your keywords a lot. Not to the fact where you're having one page cannibalize the other with the same keywords, but you are using related keywords to have Google recognize your entire site as an entity around that subject. So topical seeding through main pages. The other thing is that because this is not really optimized well, if we look at what it looks like in the search results, it just says About Us Jasper Roof and then Jasper Roof Contractors, which nobody wants to click on that because it looks like double, right?
Right.
We want to make this look legit. Usually, one of the things we do for click-through rate optimization is to make sure we put like some of our words in these brackets. That actually improves the click-through rates, makes it look better. We also use the pipe signals. If we look at your actual brand on Google, we type in Jasper Roof, I'm not even seeing a Google My Business page pop up, which is a real problem. Generally, when you type in a company that has a lot of authorities doing really well, like for instance, this is what I've done for myself, you can see like, this is a lot of information here that's really making the business look legit versus when we Google this, we're not really seeing that much around this.
I wonder, I have a question about that.
Yeah.
Okay, so like if you Google like Jasper Roof Orlando, they pop up, or Jasper Roof Tampa, but like, yeah, how do you get those to pop? Because we have multiple locations, then how do we get that to pop up whenever you just put Jasper Roof?
So you do it based off authority. The problem is that because you guys have these two business locations, I think you might be getting into something called the Possum update, which what it does is when you have things that are probably overlapping, I don't know if these are service areas. It looks like actual business locations.
Yeah, we have those as well as others, but the other ones have just been created. Like we're waiting to verify them with Google, and the pins have been sent and all that good stuff. So, but those are actual business locations for us.
So you're not doing service areas or geo radius targeting, are you?
Well, like whenever I set these up, like I put that it's not a storefront, and then I put like we do a radius of 30 miles or whatever. If that's what you're asking.
So what I'm going to say is that if these, we need to check if these are hitting each other's geo radiuses, they can actually filter each other out.
Okay.
So we want to check on whether or not these are like overlapping. But usually what happens is like the reason why it wouldn't pull one of these is because we're not sending enough signals to say that like we are that brand when we type this in. And one of the best ways to do this, in my opinion, besides like a lot of the stuff that I'd be recommending around authority building, is getting the schema markup set up for this and then pointing it to the location, the Google My Business location that you want to index it under. Because if you look at like this site and then we go, actually it's not going to be on here, I just changed it because I just changed the layout. I guess it would be like iPhone repair, this one that I did. and then we look at it, this is clearly sending a Google or message to Google saying, hey, look, you know, this is the business right here. This is what it looks like. And this is where it is. So I would probably say that would be a big part of it. The other thing is, let me get back to here. The other thing is that because we're only doing like SEO on one page really, and it's not even including the brand, I don't think, on the homepage, that's probably another reason why it's not syncing. There could be multiple reasons. There's tons of things that could be happening. Also, by not adding our name, address, phone number anywhere, which should be like in the footer, because there's something called name, address. Oh, it's right here, but I guess because there's so many different ones, it's sending. Okay. Yeah, I mean, I really think a lot of it has to do around basically authority building, which we're just not sending enough high quality signals, I don't think, from this site, just based off what I'm seeing so far. Let's just keep going through the pages. So we got about us, we looked at that, there's no internal linking there. This is one of those pages we would want to be careful with. So if we look at what's actually being indexed on this page, so it's just that. I don't know, I'm just hoping that there's not individual testimonials being indexed, because that's going to lead to a lot of duplicate content. So it looks like
I haven't updated that in a long time. Like, actually, we've been trying to use YouTube a little bit more.
Okay, yeah, so this is going to a different... Yeah.
Yeah, that shouldn't be there. Okay.
No. I was just seeing if this isn't even on the site, so that you're fine. I was just making sure it wasn't on the site.
Oh, yeah, I was going to say if it is, we don't use customer lobby anymore, so it shouldn't be, which it could very easily be.
Okay. So if we look at the site, we go to site:jasperroof.com. We can see everything that's being indexed. We got 83 pages being indexed, and I'm looking at all of these, and these are all the different location pages at first showing up. The reason why the SEO company did this, which I'm assuming the SEO company did this, is because they wanted to try to rank for all these different locations, and then be like, hey, look, you're ranking for these different locations. Like, just Google this name right here, roofing. Now the problem with this is it's fine to target, like, you know, the main areas, but if you start targeting, like, you know, hundreds of different locations, which it doesn't look like hundreds, but it looks like, you know, probably a lot, you're going to start sending low quality signals to Google, and they're going to basically not want to rank your other stuff as high. So if we go to Search Console and actually look at the pages that are ranking, so we go here, and then I need to go back into that property. Hold on. There it is. So as you can see here, in the last 28 days, we've only gotten 25 clicks, and all of them are for our brand name. That means all of these other pages that are on here, what the heck? Why am I only seeing 3 pages on here? Is this the right property? Wait, are you? I think maybe you gave me the, yeah, so you gave me the HTTP version of Search Console. Do you have any chance the HTTPS that you could give me, or is that too late? If not, I can keep going through this.
Let me see if I can find it really quick. We actually just, to be honest, added Search Console to our analytics yesterday. It wasn't hooked up yet.
Oh, no, I mean, like, the Search Console property, when you add it, there's sometimes 2 different properties, one that's the HTTP and one that's the HTTPS.
I got you.
Okay, sweet. Here, I'll stop. I'll wait for you guys. What the heck? What is this?
Oh, well, that is supposed to be there. That is the owner's blog.
Wait, if I go to blog on jasperroof.com, it does a 301 redirect to that, though.
There was one blog the SEO company was doing, which is the one that the previous page you were just at.
No, I know, but this should not be 301ing. It should just be 410ing. Like, that's a bad signal to be sending.
Okay.
So I'm going to just take a note from that.
Okay. Let's see.
Hey, Chris, what do you think about everything so far?
I mean, everything. I mean, it's making sense. I mean, that there's some things. I mean, just because I'm not, I haven't done a whole lot of SEO that I don't understand. But some of the things about the backlinking and us not having internal links and stuff like that. I mean, it makes a lot of sense.
Okay, cool.
I'm trying to log into the account now and see if I can give you. You said the HTTPS content?
Yeah, it's no big deal if you can. I just would like to see if those pages are showing up at all.
Chase, do you actually offer SEO services yourself or no?
It really depends. I mean, I love helping people out, but I'm actually like really strict with who I accept because honestly, it's for me more of a 50-50 deal. And if people aren't willing to work with me, I have a really hard time accepting them because there's like a lot of things that I need a lot of help with, like in terms of content and review generation, and all that stuff. And like, if people are really slow to respond or, like they're not willing to like say I'm going to offer a suggestion, but they're not willing to like learn or something like that. I really have a hard time, and I've just had a lot of cases where it's just like it was a waste of both of our time because neither of us. It's a long-term investment,
Mm-hmm.
So
that makes sense.
Yeah.
I guess like one of the biggest challenges for us is finding an SEO company that says what they're going to do. Like we just struggled with that for years, like.
Yeah, well,
because we're not well versed in SEO, Chris or I. It's just hard whenever you're interviewing these companies, and then they're telling you, oh, it sounds like mumbo jumbo to me, a lot of it. So it's just like, well, which one do you believe?
Yeah, and that's the problem. Is a lot of people, they over promise and under deliver, and and that's because so many people just want to be able to, make the money, and they don't really care about other people. And
right.
It's really difficult too when there's so many variables in this market, so it's really easy to just be like, oh well, it's not our fault. So yeah, I totally feel you, and being on the other end of it too, like I understand because I've been in the past where I had too many clients and I had to I had to refund them because I was like, look, I can't do this. There's too much going on for me, and I can't deliver on everything. So yeah, it's kind of one of those situations where it's like both people kind of have to take a gamble. The SEO has to take a gamble in terms of ranking the site, and the people have to take a gamble in terms of paying the person and hoping that they can do it.
Right.
I think I'm almost there. Let's see. Where's your email address? Okay. Manage properly add users. Okay, I have you added, so see if you can see it now.
Okay, let's check it out. Yep, thank you. Oh, there's nothing here? Oh. All right, it must be because this is a new property or something. I don't know. That's so weird, though, because you would think that there'd be more data on that other page. Hold on, let me just... Wait a second. Oh, you gave me the you gave me the HTTPS without the www.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
It's all good. So what I'm going through right now, just to give you guys kind of an idea what I'm doing, there's just a lot of pages on here that are being indexed by Google that we don't need indexed. Like, you know, the fact that people can find this page, George Big, with this picture is a problem. We don't want people hitting this page off of Google, and we don't want Google hitting this page either. So we just want to no index all of these low value, thin content pages which are adding no value to the site.
I don't even know what that is, like where that page is.
So there's a lot of pages on here that are being indexed. Like, for instance, you're indexing these buttons right now, which are just literally pictures of buttons. And the reason why that's happening is because basically the people who designed this website or whoever didn't really have SEO in mind, and you know, they don't think about these sort of things. So all of these things are being indexed. So you just kind of want to go through these, or have somebody go through these and no index them, because they're just, you know, really what we don't want to see. So I'm going to move on from that. The biggest thing, really, I mean, a lot of this stuff's like little things, like, you know, you get a 3% boost there or a 1% boost there. The biggest things really is, you know, where are your main KPIs? So your key performance indicators are going to be mainly in the maps. Organic's great to rank everywhere, but you want to maximize on the maps as much as possible. So what we're going to do is we're just going to see what you're currently ranking for organically, and then we're going to see what your business is going for in a second. So we're going to go here. We're going to go to organic keywords, and this is what we're Yep. What were you going to say?
Oh, I didn't say anything.
Oh, I didn't say anything either.
Oh, I thought Chris was saying that. So this is what we're ranking for currently. If we go by position, you can see pretty much anything that we're position 1 for is our brand name, which, you know, the brand name gets a good amount of searches, which does send a strong signal to Google. Anything on 10 or above, we're ranking for in terms of keywords, which it looks like we're actually pretty close in terms of Orlando roofing contractors. So I'm hoping that the homepage does replicate that to a T, and that says Florida. So basically, we're trying to rank for Florida when that's way harder to rank for, when we could be ranking #1 for Orlando and maximizing on that. And then as we build, you know, authority, start switching more to Florida in general. So if we go to Orlando roofing contractor, since that's our highest ranking keyword at the moment, we would be in position 12, so that's the second page. And then in terms of the maps, we have these exact match people. These people really understand SEO. And then if we go down, I'm hoping to see us somewhere in here. If we're not, then that's a real problem. Let's see. So I don't see us in there. Maybe we're on the second page.
Yeah, right there.
There it is. Oh, there.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you. I didn't see it. There it is. So 152 5-star reviews. So if we look at this, the first thing is that you are responding to the reviews, which is great. The next thing is that I'm hoping on the Google My Business you are taking pictures internally and externally of the location, the team members, and everything like that, and labeling your images with the correct file URLs. Do you know if that's true or not?
It could be looked at. I haven't. I usually respond. I respond to the reviews weekly, but I haven't added recent pictures, so I'd have to go back and see if I actually like captioned those.
Okay, cool. So there are some new things for Google My Business. You can add like a text option so people can text or call, text. You can also update the business now, update business and special offers, and it will sometimes show in here in the Google My Business. Let's also check out your citations. So this is a big thing. Just grab. See, that's the other thing that's interesting is this is linking to this subpage. But if we look at the subpage, oh, that is the one that's ranking. That's weird. Okay, so I guess the homepage would be targeting that.
Yeah, I mean, they would always tell us that they wanted to put the map on the actual locations page and then optimize it that way. So we were trying to do that, and then they would tell us, like, for areas right outside that, like, if we're working in Apopka, Florida, that's not one of our addresses, like one of our physical addresses. So they would say you're going to have a lot harder time being optimized there, which I don't know if that's true or false, but.
Wait, can you say that again?
They were saying that, if we were working in Apopka, Florida, that's like in the Orlando area, and if we were trying to be optimized for Apopka, but we didn't have a physical location there, that we were going to have a lot harder of a time being optimized because our physical location wasn't there.
Right. Yeah. I mean, in terms of the map, yeah. In terms of the organic, maybe not.
Okay.
It depends on the competition, but yeah. I mean, the closer you are to the actual location, the map makes it easier for sure. We're not going to be able to see this because we're not in the top. Okay, let me do this. Enter location, Orlando. And do you know the phone number for the business?
278.
Sorry, I just pressed mute by accident.
407.
407.
278. 7788.
Okay. Now, does the business name on Google My Business have a different one, or are they both the same? That says Jasper's Contractors. Does the other one say Jasper's Contractors, like, different location?
No, they all say Jasper Contractors.
See, that's a problem. Okay, so if we type in Jasper's Contractors right now, we have 5 with pretty much the exact same except for these 2.
Yeah, and they had told us to make them all the same, so we had them different and had, like, Jasper Contractors Orlando, Jasper Contractors Tampa, and they said that was horrible, so they had actually reverted them back to all saying the same.
No. The reason why you do that is not only because of the keyword, like, boost you get from that, but it also really makes it confusing to not have that.
Okay.
I mean, there is nothing wrong with mentioning your location, the business name. I've done a lot of research on this, and, if you can do that, super good. It would be even better if you could do Jasper's Roofing Contractors Orlando, but that starts to get in a gray area. So let's do optimize Google My Business names with locations. I mean, it just makes sense. If somebody's Googling this and they see 2 of these, aren't they going to want to know which one's different?
Right.
All right. I get a little frustrated. I get a little angry about this stuff. Okay. Just because it's like common sense, right? Also,
right.
When we're looking at the citations right now, we're going to get the citations for one of these businesses, and I don't know which one. Oh, wait. Are both of these the same number, too? No, they're not.
No, we have different numbers for each.
Okay. Can I get... actually, I can do it right here. Let me just... go over here. So while that's searching, we're going to do another search, because we need to compare these citations. Basically, the more your business shows up on Google in terms of the... where it's listed on different sites. Huh?
Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. It doesn't matter that you put an S at the end of Jasper.
Sorry, I'm trying to do 2 things at once.
No, you're...
Basically, the more your site shows up with your name, address, and phone number on different places that are somewhat relevant, like Yelp and all these different places, Google starts to consider your business more relevant. This is the second number, right? 867?
Yeah.
27898?
Yeah.
And that location is Tampa.
Yeah.
Shoot, I just put, darn it. All right, well, we all make mistakes.
Yeah,
81.
867 7898.
All right. So the first one's still going, or all of these are still searching, so we got to come back to these. So while those are going, let's go to Screaming Frog and keep doing this. So all of these titles, of course, like we said, we need to make these all unique. A lot of, you can see like, oh, wait, I just found something. Oh my God, this is going to cause a huge problem. Okay, this alone was worth the audit. Hold on. If this is true. One second. Yes. Okay. So major problem needs to be fixed ASAP. There's two versions of the site being indexed: the non-HTTP and the HTTP.
Okay.
So yeah, we just really need to do the 301 redirects on that. 16 301 redirects on duplicate versions of the site. The next thing is, oh, well, the problem is because there's the duplicate versions, I can't really tell if these are too similar, but really just going through and adding the titles where they're missing and optimizing the titles for click-through rates, that sort of thing, and topical seeding, so just optimizing titles as much as possible, add where they are missing, etc. If we go to over here, we can see a lot of the pages are missing meta descriptions, and a lot of them are duplicates. So that's a big problem. Fix meta descriptions that are duplicates and add where they are missing. Meta description links look good. The H1s should replicate the title tags. We already talked about that. We're using canonicals, which is good. Let's check out the alt tags over here. So we got 29 redirects that I don't really know. We're going to skip those for now. For the alt tags, we have 48 images missing alt tags, so we want to fill those in. We can cancel out of here. Oh, this is still going. I don't know why. It should be going. It should be done. Let's. Did we get Search Console access yet?
Oh yeah. Try refreshing. See if it says there now. The HTTPS.
Okay. There it is. Wait, there it is. Sweet. What the heck? Okay, well this is a lost cause. We're not getting anything. Okay, so yeah, it looks like this was just added. One of the things you want to make sure you do is submit a sitemap to here when you can. If we have one, let's check on that. Sitemap.xml. Yeah, so I would just submit the sitemap to Search Console whenever you get a chance. Where the heck? Oh yeah. Let's check out your robots.txt, make sure there's nothing wrong in here. So we're not disallowing anything except for WP admin, that's good. So yeah, I mean, other than that, like, you know, we could do schema markup for the contact us page. A lot of this stuff is just like the basics, really. Like, it's kind of not a good idea to start doing like really insane content marketing or like content upgrades and stuff like that until you start doing the basics. Like, I could start recommending things around, you know, take your traffic from your blog and funnel it into a Facebook group and then generate reviews off the Facebook group and stuff that's a little bit more specific. But the biggest thing really is just getting this site with the basic optimizations. From that point, I would probably start building out content based off competitor research, because they're obviously ranking for a reason. And all you have to do is just go into their pages and run them through something like Ahrefs and see what they're ranking for. And if we don't have content around that, then we just build it out. So if we went to like Orlando Roofing Contractors, went to their site, and then assuming it loads, we copy that and then plug this into Ahrefs. We're going to be able to see, one, all of the links that they have. So if they have good links, we could probably get some of these. Okay. Like, basically, these are all the links that they have. And if, you know, if these are good links, like, for instance, we know that, you know, they're getting some value from this, from, you know, Yahoo Local, and we don't have that yet, or whatever else, we can just build these, right? I have somebody who builds all these citations. These are basically all citations like we were talking about. I have somebody who like can build them for you, pretty cheap. I think he charges like $60, but I basically use them for all my clients. And then if we go to organic keywords, we can actually see, look, Orlando roofing contractors. So 150 searches per month. He's in position 11. Let's see what he's doing with his content. So if we look in here, you know, he's obviously doing the content silos, like the internal linking, like we were talking about. He has a lot of information, probably about Orlando, and we can use certain tools like something called cognitive SEO to actually see his score on how he's doing with his content writing. The biggest problem with this site, our site opposed to this site, is not the look, because the look here looks awful compared to our site, but they understand writing in terms of SEO. If we look in here, we're not even mentioning Florida in the content, and we're trying to rank for it. So that's a huge problem. This should all be directed around Florida if we're trying to rank for it. The other thing is that we're not really mentioning our related keywords anywhere. So it should be, you know, jaspersroof.com, and then the next one, you know, should be services, and then all of the different keywords we want to rank for around the services we offer. And the only way we find those is like when like one of the things we can do is just copy our competitors, see what they're ranking for. You know, like commercial roofing, residential roofing. We should have pages for all of these things because they all have searches, and then we just build content out around it. So it's really kind of just going back to the basics of just building content so that people can find it, and then ranking for it based off the keywords that we already know other people are doing because they're doing SEO and they're obviously paying somebody to do SEO for them. And then it's just about doing basic SEO around that, which is really more about copywriting at this point. And then after that, you can do competitive link sniping, which is just a fancy word for looking at what links they have and trying to get them yourselves. Look up competitors' links. And most of these are citations anyways. Build out citations. That's the name of who does it. Let's go back over here. I cannot believe that it's taking this long to run. I'm assuming you guys probably have like 40 citations on both of these, because I don't... What's that?
Nothing from my end.
Not me either.
I must be hearing things. Okay, well, you guys kind of get the point. I would say it's time for the top 10. So the first thing, number one, immediately fix the redirects on site. Set preferred version. I can't spell. Number two, do the on-page basics, like fill out all the title tags and the meta descriptions. Get rid of the duplicate ones, you know, add alt tags. This is really more of the manual kind of stuff. Number three would be to fix those Google My Business locations. Fix Google My Business locations to include, what's it called? City name parameters, plus do Google My Business optimization with images and, you know, what's it called? The, trying to think, the text options, or if you want to, or whatever you want to do. The next one would be to do the page speed optimizations, because there's a lot of problems there. That's really bogging down the site. I think the best thing you could do at that point is compress images with something called Smusher, and also either upgrade hosting or change it. I use WP Engine. It works amazing. Let me know if you guys go with that because I have an affiliate link.
Okay.
The other thing that I would do is start building out the other main pages for the keywords you're targeting. Build out other main pages for keywords you're targeting. What was it? Like, for instance, commercial, roofing, residential, etc. We want to no index, low quality, thin content pages. See examples in top of roadmap. Also comb through Search Console and see if the pages that the SEO company built are getting any clicks, because we might want to get rid of those because they might just be low quality, not getting any traffic.
Okay.
The next thing, before you build the citations, you want to look at links and make sure we're not getting like a bunch of links in Mandarin right now and somebody's not like trying to mess with you. This has happened to me before and a client I was working with. Then I would build out citations for both businesses. The next thing I would do is the the on-page basics also includes the internal linking and topical seeding. For the last two, 9 and 10, besides doing like, submitting the sitemap to Search Console and easier stuff like that, I would probably I'd probably do the schema. That'd be a good idea. And for the last one, I'm just trying to think what would be the best option. I'd probably start working on the content marketing aspect of things. Doing like top 10 lists work really well. So you can do like top 10 roofing contractors in Florida, and those posts, if written well enough, usually rank. I have somebody who did this with web design in their area. Might have actually been Tampa Bay, I don't really remember. But they're ranking the article. It's the first article that's ranking for web design in that area. So top 10 lists around main keywords. So that's what I would probably say for the first part of the roadmap. Of course, there's going to be, after all this stuff's fixed, other things that you can do. But just by doing this stuff, like this in the top 10, is definitely going to push you in the right direction. Like I said, this is like, a long-term thing, and things don't usually work out right away after changing this. It takes a lot of experimenting. The biggest thing, though, really is, if something's working for somebody else and you can see that their content is really providing results and they're not really using a lot of links, I would probably try to use that as a template to structure your content in a similar way. One of the best ways you can do this, really, is to use this tool right here called Cognitive SEO. It's like $100 a month. I don't know if that's worth it to you. It's worth it to me. Basically, you can put in any keyword you want. We could do roofing, Orlando. And what it'll do is it'll show you the scores that everybody's rank basically has on their content that they're ranking, what the average content length would be for that. And a score based off how many times they're using semantically related keywords that sort of look like the other keywords. So if we go into here, and this is the last thing I'll show you, and then I'll stop talking. But you can see here, a lot of these pages are anywhere between 1,000 to 5,000 words. So if we're trying to rank for something like this, we probably want around the same amount of content. If we go into the content assistant and we put in our content here, I'm trying to find the Orlando locations. There it is.
It actually had the Orlando page on there at the bottom.
Right, but we want to rank it higher, of course.
Okay.
So if we go there, put this in here. Where the heck did it go? So you'll see it's a 30. And the way you can improve the score, besides adding content, because there's only 358 words, which is way below the average, is it'll actually show you what things you can elaborate on in terms of the semantically related keywords. So we can see that a lot of people who are ranking for this stuff are also talking about Lake Mary, storm damage, winter garden. And then you could just add that in there and add the content, as well as they talk about residential roof, So this is pretty much just taking all of the related keywords that other people are talking about and that Google's relating this to. And just by including this in your content and elaborating and adding more content to these pieces is probably going to help you rank higher for those keywords. If you guys want to try this, it's like a free tool for like the first 5 searches. But yeah, that's pretty much it. I mean, you guys can let me know what you think. I tried to give it my all on this one.
Yeah, no, I really appreciate it. I mean, like Chris was saying, some of the things that we kind of knew, just like in terms of the site speed, and I think, I think that there was stuff wrong with like some of the tags and things like that. So I appreciate it, and the tool just gave us, in general, I think will help us. I mean, I'm not sure what we're going to do in terms of hiring someone or trying to fix some of this first or what, but we know we got to do something because we just parted ways with that company about a week ago. Right.
Yeah, so I mean, if you wanted, I could help with the basics, like anything. I would prefer it where it's like, where it's like more of me being a partner as somebody who's just sort of taking over everything. Mainly because I'm trying to get away from the mentality of just like, here, just do everything, because I think people start to look at me as like somebody who's like the magic horse for their marketing, which is not true. If you want me to optimize your site and get it to where it needs to be in terms of, the basics, I can do that, and then we can move forward from there. But I don't want you to have super high expectations that this is going to, fix your rankings right out of the blue. This is something that it's like there's probably many more things that need to happen before you really see a huge difference.
Right. Okay. I mean, I would definitely be interested in talking about that and even speaking with Chris afterwards to see if there are certain things that we could do to get the ball rolling, and then, see what we might need your help for. But yeah, I mean, that sounds great.
Cool. Yeah, anytime. Just let me know.
Okay, perfect. I don't think I have any additional questions. Do you, Chris?
No, I don't. Not right now.
Okay. Great. Well, thank you so much.
No problem. I will